Episode 229 of the White Cat Outdoors podcast, bring you to the table while we talk about the outdoors. Finally, after a few weeks, we have the studio full all over again. Frank's back, Austin's back, and we've got Austin back in studio because last week he laid the hammer down on a big old long beard on a quick hunt after his third shift. Jumped into a block of timber close to his home and hunted there 2 days. Kind of spooked some birds the first day, but, gave him the education he needed to get back on them. So he stayed persistent, went back out the next day, and that's where we'll cut the story off. Austin's going to tell us the rest. So we hope you guys are enjoying your turkey season and hopefully getting some success. But I'm going to quit rambling and let's get tuned in to this week's episode.
And then I looked dead at his antlers. I got out of the truck, and when I slammed the door, I heard gobbles all around me.
Let's see it.
Alaska, moose, spot and sock. That is the bucket list. I agree.
White Cat Outdoors. White Cat Outdoors.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the table. We're here with the whole gang. Everyone's here this
About
week.
freaking time.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the outdoors tonight. Tom's also here. He didn't say anything.
Glad to be in the studio.
And Babe is the special guest tonight. He's just special guest all the time. We're always happy to have him. But,
What's up?
Babe.
Remember when we used to call him Osterline Enerton?
Oh, that was great.
We should bring that back.
That's his contact in my phone is Osterline Enerton.
That's been, like 2 years since I last heard that.
Yeah, it's a good name.
He's just in there as AE for me. I might just make it American Eagle.
Babe in mine.
Babe.
He's a real diverse guy. Lots of
Yeah,
names.
your
Lot of
real
big
name
names.
does not get used ever.
Good or bad. But, yeah.
But this show's all about him tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin, why don't you get a little closer on the mic there?
Okay, yeah.
He's been here. It's been a couple weeks. He's kind of forgot how to do this.
I know. But,
So what are we talking about tonight, Babe? What did you do that's so fucking special?
well, last week, we got a bird on the ground.
What
Nice.
state?
What's that?
What state were you in?
I was in PA.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said you're
So,
at that one place.
yeah, PA started that Saturday. Well, after running all around, it felt like Northern America trying to kill a turkey. All I had to do was go behind the house. But it was Thursday morning. I got out of work. Actually, let me rewind. Wednesday morning, got out of work, went behind the house, and I did a little walk around. Didn't hear any birds off the roost, so I just did a call and walk.
So, what time do you get out of work? Like when you're getting out of work and heading into the woods, what time is it?
I changed my schedule, so I was racing out of there at 5 in the morning.
Oh, so you're like,
So you're getting in a little late, but still
I mean, just
okay.
enough to where I could get underneath one if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
So, didn't hear anything Wednesday morning. Took a good walk around the perimeter of the property, just calling and walking, and saw some good sign. And then I wanted to make a loop around in the food plot, see if they were out there. Just not making any gobbling or didn't. Just wanted to make sure they were there. And so I was sneaking around, looking in the field. And then wouldn't you know it, I had like 6 out there. They got spooked and ran into the woods. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll hunt here tomorrow morning. So Thursday morning, got out of work, got back there. And I'm like, I'm not gonna call at all whatsoever. I'm just gonna put decoys out in the field and
Let them do their thing.
let them do their thing because they didn't answer the day before.
so what decoy spread were you running?
I had the
About
avian,
like 12 hens, a couple jake
yeah,
decoys.
15 gobblers and one hen. No, but I had one avian X full strut and one hen.
That's a deadly combo. It really
Yeah.
is.
That's all you need, I feel like. But I got those set up. It's getting daylight. I didn't hear anything off the roost, so sat back on a tree and watched my decoys for about an hour and a half. Still didn't hear anything. And I pulled my box call out. I'm like, maybe I'll crank this, see if I could hear anything.
Can't hurt, you know.
Right. And pull it out. Meow, 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 meow. And then I hear pop, 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 pop. I'm
they
like,
were, like,
oh
right
gosh,
there.
I just got busted. So I'm like, did the little slow head turn to my right behind me. And I just saw a hen and, well, two hens and a jake come peeking their head up over. And they kind of walked by me, got out towards my decoys.
So they just came in dead silent.
Yeah,
Didn't
they were.
talk
I
to
mean,
you.
they were 30 yards behind me. I never saw them until they popped up over the bank.
But you didn't spook them, obviously. Like, they
Didn't
putted.
know.
but-
I mean, it was like perfect timing. Any later than that, I would have spooked them. But they came out to the decoys. I mean, they're within 25 yards of me.
Jake would have been in serious trouble.
Oh, I was itching the trigger finger, but no, I held back. So they're out there doing their thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, they start kind of making their way around the field. I'm thinking where I want to go after this. And I'm sitting there and I look to my right. And I see a longbeard coming down the entrance of the food plot. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Guess we'll stay here, huh?
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at him. I'm trying to see what he's doing. He comes out to the corner. He fans out. Did a couple spin arounds.
How far was he?
He was probably about 50 yards.
Oh.
And so I wasn't set up that way, so I got to swing my gun over to the right. And as I'm swinging my gun, I got a deer coming up next to me within 8
Jesus, you
yards,
got
just like
everything
looking at me
happening.
like this, you know, doing the old head
Hey,
up
what's
and
going
down.
on over here?
Yeah. She got spooked and then kind of walked away. Luckily, she didn't toot her horn and make a big scene. So
So she didn't spook the turkeys?
no, yeah. So I'm swinging my gun. I got about halfway over when that happened, so I get a little more. And then I pull my gun up on him. And he didn't look like he was going to come any closer. So I kind of,
Hey, with that TSS, you can freaking send it.
yeah. So I kind of made a little whistle. He didn't have his head up. I'm like, fuck. I did a little whistle. He went like this. And then,
I've never seen
Boom.
anyone use that tactic on a
I
turkey.
know. I thought it was a good idea at the time, and it worked. So, yeah,
I've given a
flopped it right
map
over.
to stop a turkey before.
Did a little
Map.
whistle?
No, Matt.
Oh, Matt.
I was
yeah.
like 11 with my dad. He's like, what the hell was that?
Seen it on the hunting shows. You know, they always do it with a big buck.
He said,
Yeah.
I will admit, it did get his head to poke up.
It did. It did the trick. Yeah, one shot this time and
So
flopped him
you
over.
flattened him. He was right there.
Yeah.
So how
Oh.
big was he? What
So
happened?
about
was-
50 yards, I guess?
Yeah, it was 50. It was like 48 yards. I counted steps.
Oh, look at you just stretching the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's a poke, but it's very achievable with that.
It
with-
used to be a poke, but I feel like with that TSS, like
It's not
they
a
have
problem.
really expanded turkey ranges. Because
Are
like
you
when I was
using
growing up, you
TSS?
wanted
No,
them
I'm actually using
20, like 30 was like pushing it.
Yeah.
So, breaking news. Austin's not using TSS.
Not a TSS guy. He's cheap bastard.
I'm using the
Longbeard XRs.
Longbeard XRs with a Carlson choke, and I think
Those are
it's
a nice shell, too. I ran those for a while.
Yeah. No, but it's actually kind of a little too tight. I mean, it's easy to miss a bird with those up close.
Have you had experience with this?
Yeah.
I was going to let that go, but Tom...
Choke's way
Tom-
too tight off.
I'm sure you guys were hitting that the last 2 weeks.
No,
I
we
wasn't here.
actually we didn't say. I think actually I did maybe make a mention that we had a story coming, but now it's like the redemption. So
Yeah, I'll make it short and sweet. I missed one in New
Yeah,
York.
you blew your own doors in.
For some reason I can't kill one in New York.
yeah, it just
Because your choke's too tight.
Yeah, that's probably it.
You got to spook them and let them get out there.
I
to
didn't
50
whistle. I
yards.
didn't do the old
Yeah,
Give
whistle.
him the map.
yeah. Austin, that's gonna be his new thing. Just give him that whistle.
Just
Yeah.
give him the whisk.
Give the old turkey whistle.
Oh goodness. But that
Did you use that little striker you brought to
I
camp?
returned that. As soon as I
Did you
got
really?
That. Yeah.
That thing was meant.
Did you were you in a,
No, it
so
wasn't at camp.
Austin comes to camp all excited with this new this new call, one of them ones that you strap to the end of your gun that you just
so you can squeak with.
yeah. So
without
Austin, he
moving.
is he's so excited. He breaks this thing out of the box, and
I bet it sounded like shit.
worse than that. I mean, we were just laughing hysterically that Austin paid anything for it.
You couldn't like try it out. Like you like a lot of calls like
No, it
you
was
can
in a
mess with
case.
them in the store.
Yeah, no, they had it like in a sealed box. Like there was no way.
That's
and-
how they got you.
That's funny.
But Austin, the whole I'm effing returning this. You know, like this is bullshit.
I'm not gonna brand drop them, but he kept saying, "I can't believe this company would even put their name on this box."
Yeah, it was a pretty well known company too.
And they're just putting shit
So you
out.
so you did end up returning that?
I did.
That's awesome. I love
Did
that.
they ask what was the matter with it?
Yeah, I gave him the sounds like shit type of deal.
Here, let me play it for you.
You want to
Hey,
hear it?
you know
I'll
what,
show
you know what a turkey sounds like? Here, tell me if this is close.
I will
Before and
show
after.
you what is wrong with it.
Let me just give you a demonstration here. Close your eyes.
Oh goodness.
So how big was the turkey?
So I think it was
2-inch beard.
2
It was
inch.
real solid, Jake.
I think it was 9 and 1 inch spurs.
8 3/4 is what you told me at the cabin.
Yeah.
He just keeps stretching every
I know.
aspect of this.
I just-
Yeah, I mean it depends on where you start the measurement from. Do you count the white?
Do you
Yeah.
measure from the base? You measure the top or the
back.
bottom?
The back of the turkey.
Always measure from the bottom.
Yeah, nothing but hurt feelings up top.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, anyway,
yep.
That's
And
that's
the
a nice
spurs?
bird though. 1-inch spurs you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean, those spurs are razor sharp.
They're
I'm
starting to
guessing-
get some hook to them.
Yeah.
that's how you know like you really got a good spurs when they start to
yeah.
get that little
You got it on your
curve.
shoulder, and you got to kind of watch yourself hooking your.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I actually the bird I killed last year that I got mounted, like I actually like scratched up my neck carrying it out because they actually had some decent hooks.
Yeah.
Like they were like 1.25 or something like. They were pretty good. The best spurs
Way
I've ever
bigger
got.
than yours, Austin.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no,
Oh, yeah.
most like Tom can attest to it. I've killed a lot of longbeards, but it took me until about 2 years ago was the first bird I shot that broke 1 inch on spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just kept pounding 2-year-old birds. Like
8-inch thin beard.
Yeah.
No spurs.
yeah, just like 1/2 inch, 7/8 inch spurs, just like bumps.
Yeah.
Although, do you recall what the spurs were on the first climber turkey?
They were less than 1 inch.
Because
that had a
friggin'
rope.
rope on it.
Yeah, that was a big bird.
But it didn't have spurs.
No, and I knew that shooting it, you know,
Yeah,
but
I'm sure that's what you knew.
yeah, I think that was pre Longbeard XRs. That was pre TSS. I was shooting a Remington 1187 with 3-inch, probably like old ass Federal
Yeah.
premiums,
Yeah,
like
they're
from like my
20
dad's.
years old. They've been
Yeah.
in the closet for God knows
Yeah,
how long.
and I poked that one at 57. And I put two BBs in its brain and one in its beak.
That's all you need, apparently.
Yeah, I mean it dropped it dead in a doornail, but you know when they get that close, you just gotta shoot.
Yeah, when they're coming right at you.
Yeah,
on a
it was
string
coming
like
into
that.
me for sure.
I think we've told that story like 17
Yeah, we
times
definitely have.
just to rub it in Tom's face.
Yeah, he keeps telling me he's gonna shoot a deer out from underneath me up at Morrison one of these years.
That would be hilarious. Like, hey Nick, here he comes. You take him, and then you
Well,
just.
he
blast
almost did
right-
it on one like 300 yards away. We were on the same field, like in corners, and he said he almost shot the one that was right underneath me, or
Just-
not like right underneath me, but like out in front of
A
me.
safe shot.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was shooting at me, but it was probably
Yeah.
like 70 yards in front of me and like 300 yards in front of Tom. But then he said he looked over and there was 2 doe standing right below him, so he's like, all right.
That would have been a classic if you would have just blasted a doe.
I couldn't
right
have
in
even
front
been
of-
mad. Like,
You just laugh at that.
oh yeah.
He just folds one up 20 yards in front of you.
Well, we
Nick,
weren't
you
even
want to gut that out for me while you're over there?
Since you're so much closer.
we weren't even planning it, but Tom shot, and then my doe was like, "Oh, what was that?" And I was like, "Oh, geez, all right, I guess I better shoot." It's like,
It's the other way around.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick shot first.
either way.
'Cause we had a plan that we weren't going to shoot a doe until last light. Just, in case a buck was going to come out. Well, it's
Yeah.
about 40 minutes to last light, and I had a doe right underneath me. I'm just watching her, and all of a sudden I hear boom.
Well, I better get
And
this
I
going.
watch this doe out in front of Nick start barreling towards the woods. I'm like, oh, this one ain't going to stick around too long. So I smoked her.
Sometimes you have to.
And that's how I learned how quickly bullets travel. She was like 70.
Pretty fucking fast, Tom.
She was like 70 yards away,
Her leader.
and no, she wasn't like running, but she was at like a
Moving.
brisk trot. Like, all right, I'm getting out of here.
Mhm.
So in my mind, I think I better put it right on her front shoulder. That way, by the time the bullet gets there, it'll be 2
Right
inches.
in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, 2 inches behind the front shoulder. So
Where'd you hit, Tom?
right in the front shoulder.
Right where you're aiming.
Yeah,
Turns out those bullets are pretty fast.
yeah.
So, I do want to get back over here to Austin. PA tags punched.
Yeah.
Are we heading to the Ohio, or are you trying to finally seal the deal on a New York bird?
Or what about Kentucky? You still got a Kentucky tag.
Kentucky's closed.
Yep.
Oh, they're done already?
Yeah.
Shit.
The only hunting you can do is at Frankie's Plaza.
Yeah. Right. No.
We got to get Frank into Frankie's Plaza. I wonder if
know.
we could talk them into
Well, I
getting.
mean, I run the joint, so I should be allowed in.
I don't think you'd want to be responsible for running that joint.
Only bar I've ever walked into, and it's a $15. What was it, $15 or $10?
It's $5.
They had a cover charge?
It was
Yes.
Yeah, $5 on Friday night, $10 on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And this bar it's a great bar. I had a hell of a time.
Nick
but-
just said that I would not want to be in charge of it.
It's
Why?
it's a dive for sure.
It's like the
a
nicest
dive with a cover?
It has no business doing a cover charge.
That's curious.
well, they call it a music venue,
Okay, so that's why they do the cover.
but it's like the Valley's stage.
Yeah,
It's better than that.
Yeah, it's better than that.
No, the stage setup.
No, the stage is much better than the Valleys.
Yeah, well, it was a good time. I mean, I wasn't. Did I think it was ridiculous to pay a cover to get in there? Yeah. Did I pay it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you
worth
pay
it.
it again?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Gonna pay it the next 3 nights he's there.
So, what's the plan?
I was. What did I do last weekend?
We hunted New York Saturday, and then you bailed on me.
I bailed on you.
Left me out to dry Sunday.
Oh yeah, because I went to Ohio. You get hunt all day over there, so
It's just way better than New York. Just say it.
yeah.
Can you
it
still hunt all day the last 2 weeks of PA?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm excited.
When's
for
that start? This weekend, right?
Monday.
Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
Probably get down on that. Lots of long beards coming out into the field behind my A-frame almost every evening. The last I knew.
That's great. Had to be there.
Zing!
Yeah. Austin, congratulations, buddy. We knew
Thank
you
you.
were going to get it done.
you.
You've had one.
Austin's a big killer. He always
Yeah.
gets it done.
I like one a year. I'm good.
That's why we wanted to bring him in. I mean, he's a good time. He's a babe, and
He is a
he
babe.
he
That's
I'm
shoots
blushing.
he shoots big bucks. He shoots bears. He kills longbeards. I mean, what more could you ask in a podcast host?
Very well-rounded podcast host.
Well, thank you guys.
If only he could get into like waterfowl or something.
I know.
Yeah, I really would love to get it. Kayla would love for me to get into waterfowl.
Only if I had a dog capable of doing that.
If only.
Hmm.
Well,
Alrighty.
tune in next year.
Yeah. Tom, any interruptions before we close out?
No.
All right. Well, one last time, congratulations, Austin. I hope that's not the last one of the year. Hopefully, finally, you can seal the deal on a New York longbeard. But until then, you guys know what to do. Get outside.
That was a